All right,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Boom. Yeah, shit. UFC 262 this weekend. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler for the vacant lightweight title. I'm joined by Myles from Fight Night Chat and Puddi from MMA Casual Core. I'm not going to say what Myles said before we started, but from MMA Casual Core. Before I begin this preview, guys, go ahead and subscribe to Puddi on MMA Casual Core and Myles on Fight Night Chat. Their links will be in the description. It's a very good card, man, compared to last weekend's card, man, which we barely spoke about. We did towards the end.
Yeah.
We started looking at it, and we're like, you know what? There's some good fights on the card. Neil Magny, but then come Sunday, no one's talking about nothing. I think all to come out that card was the Neil Hamza Chimaev calling out Neil Magny, and that was it.
Yeah.
That card was done. But then this card, there's some sleeper fights on the undercard as well. You got Jacare, you got Valentina Shevchenko's sister. But then the main card's where the action is, man. That's where the action is. What are you guys thinking about the card?
Boy, it's a good, just like you said, compared to last weekend. Yeah, the card's much better. You know, last weekend it's one of those cards. You know, when you're watching a card, yeah, and it's like 4 a.m. and it hasn't been the greatest card, and you're just kind of like you're proving to yourself that you're a hardcore fan. So you're kind of sitting there like, this is how, you know what I mean? You're sitting there like, this is how I know. Yeah, you're hardcore. You've got to stay awake for this. But yeah, the card, it had its moments though. It had its moments, but just star power wise, yeah, the one that's coming up this weekend, yeah, a lot better still.
What did you think?
Yeah, man, definitely, bro. Even like looking down the whole card, like, there's some names on there, bro. Look at it, bro. They got Lando Venata on the early prelims, bro. You've got flipping Matt Schnell. Do you know about Matt Danger Schnell? Did you guys ever watch that MTV program called Caged? So basically,
no.
there was this MTV like reality TV program, and they were following these fighters. Some I can't remember where in America, bro. Some next dead part of America, bro. Like they had nothing to do other than fight. And this guy Matt Schnell, he was like the star of it. So I've been following him for a while. So I'm interested to see how he does. Like literally, he's the only guy that I know of that's in the UFC that's from a reality TV show, other than flipping Ultimate Fighter. So yeah, man, some decent names on there. Obviously, Jacare on the prelims as well.
Yep.
Do you know
Can't go wrong.
It kind of hurts my heart to see Jacare's he's relegated to a prelim fighter, but
it's a relegated.
He's like 50 years old though, so.
Wow, it's crazy in this.
But he's fighting a young up and comer. I forgot my man's name. He was on Contender Series.
Andre Muniz.
Oh, yeah, Andre Muniz.
Exactly. So that just might be, and he's the main event of that prelim card as well. So it might be like feeding in it.
Feeding to the young. Into that thing. You buy into that main event of the prelims, man. I think Dana White's trying to sell us dreams, bro. I don't.
No, it's because you know when people like wake up, let's say UK fans, even American fans, when they're starting to tune in just before the main card, that's the first thing they'll probably catch if they're late to it. True. So that's what, and it's like prime time television as well, right before the pay-per-view. And sometimes, you know what, just a good prelim main event, sometimes people buy it. I've read that before. People see a good prelim main event, then they buy the actual pay-per-view.
Swear.
That's what it is. Because we're obviously in UK, we're lucky. We're not. Well, I got BT Sport in it. I've got the app. I even get BT Sport app for free from EE. It's in my contract. So literally, I don't. Yeah. So I've never paid for UFC.
I swear that only lasts 3 months. So they finessed me with that one.
No, I got to keep that shit on, bro.
They finessed me with that one. Like 3 months free, and then you got to pay for it. I cancelled it.
No.
I kept that shit on, bro.
Look at this guy bragging. He's never bought
the ticket. You got to negotiate things in your upgrade, man. Got to negotiate things. But now, they need the prelim main event to cause people to be like, oh, you know what, I need to buy. I need to buy the card.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, let's start off with the first fight on the card: Shane Burgos versus Edson Barboza, man. See, for me, guys, this one's got fight of the night written all over it. Performance of the night. It's just got chaos. Shane Burgos, Hurricane Shane, violence. Edson Barboza, he can take it and he can give it out. We're going to do a kind of scoring system on terms of predictions as well between the three of us, and we'll see maybe in a couple of months who's got like the highest score in terms of their predictions and their picks. Myles, how do you see this fight taking place?
All right, man. So here's the thing. Like, I love Edson Barboza, innit? Man's a veteran, got some of the maddest knockouts. Salute Terry Etten. If you know about that, you know about that.
Took man's soul.
Took man's soul out, bro. Turned man into stone. But, fam, you see, Edson Barboza, yeah? Like, I'm kind of surprised that they re-signed him because he's been taking a lot of L's recently. Now, with that being said, against Shane Burgos, yeah, I feel like Edson, if we're talking straight technique for technique, Edson Barboza's got him, like sharp leg kicks, spinning wheel kicks, all of that type of stuff. But you see Shane Burgos, bro, man's not really got too much technique. He's got a lot of head movement, but he just comes forward. And sometimes Edson Barboza can be a bit negative. What I mean by negative is he moves backwards against the cage. And I feel like Burgos, that's what he wants. He wants you to go against the cage where he can just tee off on you. Burgos is a big guy for that division.
He's huge.
So as much as I like, he's huge, bro. So as much as I like Barboza technique for technique, I think he's just going to get steamrolled by Burgos. And I've got Burgos finishing in round 3, TKO.
Puddi.
You know what, Myles? I like that. I like that right there. Because I'm in the similar bag to you. I think Shane Burgos is going to knock out Edson Barboza. Now, this is Edson Barboza's problem, okay? And you know, I'm gonna have my my Wikipedia open at all times because I want to be able to draw back to what I'm saying. Edson Barboza has been found out. That's what I think. I think he's been found out ages ago. It's very simple. Do I want to say it's very? It's simple to beat Edson Barboza if you're a certain level. Pressure him. That's literally it. Edson Barboza needs space to throw his kicks, and because he's for me, he's the best kicker I've ever seen. But he needs space for his kicks, and he likes to fight a clean fight. Do you get what I'm saying? If you pressure Edson Barboza, you will knock out Edson Barboza. For example, not knock out, so you will defeat him / knock him out. Because the first person I was gonna say is Khabib, who it was a decision, but Khabib pressure, he couldn't handle it. Kevin Lee pressure, he couldn't handle it. Justin Gaethje forward pressure, couldn't handle it. Dan Ige as well, pressure. You saw he was able to beat Dan Hooker because Dan Hooker is the type of fighter that's gonna, make it a nice, calm, clean, stand-up fighter, technique for technique. You know what I mean? He's not a pressure fighter like that. I think Shane Burgos, so got me stats up right here, just to Shane Burgos lands 7 strikes per minute compared to Edson Barboza's 3.98. Pressure.
Yeah,
he's not. Edson Barboza is not going to be able to. I don't think Edson Barboza is going to be able to take the pressure. And yeah, I agree with you also, Myles, that you're surprised Edson got re-signed to a multi-fight contract. I found that surprising as well. That I don't know why that happened, but I don't know why that happened. That sounds disrespectful. Like I don't rate Edson. I do rate him. He's actually because he's one of my favorites.
Maybe it's that dropped to 145. One more run.
Let me ask you a question, Puddi.
Yeah.
Do you think the fact that he not got cut, but the fact that his contract ran out and they were going to let him go and then he's re-signed, do you think that damages his confidence at the fact that they're kind of thinking like, you're all right, but you're not really? Or do you think that raises his confidence at the fact that they're like, actually, do you know what? They thought about it. No, come back, bro. Do you think that helps him or it goes against him mentally?
Do you know what? I think it helps him because I think when you've been signed to a multi-fight deal, you're going to think, I'm going to go on a run, if that makes sense. So if anything, he can now think that, I'm going on this run towards the title. Whereas let's say you've only got 1 fight left in your deal or 2 fights left in the deal, you're kind of just thinking, I need to be good. I need to make sure I survive. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, I'm not sure how many fights he signed for, but let's say he signed for a 3-fight deal. Yeah. He can be thinking now, Shane Burgos, he's ranked at what, number 15? Cool. I'll get a win over a top 15 guy, get into a fight with a top 10 guy. If I can get a win over the top 10 guy, potentially work my way towards a title shot. So I think fighting a multi-fight contract, having a multi-fight contract, it's going to give him some confidence going forward.
See, I agree with both of you. I agree with both of you. Like with Edson, I agree with Puddi as well. Like in terms of like Myles, like he's almost been figured out. Like just pressure, nullify the leg kicks because his hand. I think he uses his legs almost to set up his hands, where most people use their hands to hide their kicks. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of the opposite, and put pressure on him. He can't unleash his kicks and just smother him. And Hurricane for a reason, innit? He just moves forward. You look at that Josh Emmett fight; he took damage as well in that one. Yeah, he's learned to throw kicks. He's punching power. He's got power to knock anyone out. He's only lost twice in the UFC to Calvin Kattar and Josh Emmett. He took damage in the Emmett fight, but he was slipping his head. Yeah. He did get caught still. His head movement weren't all there. He's taken quite a lot of time off as well. And I just think he's going to have Edson's number. But with the UFC re-signing him to 145, man, like you said with your stats, man, he's lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of his last 7. And yes, they've all been like top fighters. Bro, although I don't see him winning.
I will say, I've got to be fair. unless my memory serves me incorrectly, I think he won that Felder fight. Like, I'm trying to.
He lost, but
I
thought he won as well in Abu Dhabi.
That's what I mean. As in, if I remember correctly, that's the fight where I was like, wait, no, he won.
It was close though.
I think the judges did him dirty, but aside from that, yeah.
Fair enough. So we're all going with Shane Burgos, yeah, unanimous here.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Wait, but have you got his knockout though? Because you got to.
Well, yeah. How?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Shane Burgos finishes him. I'd say round two finish.
Woody, what round?
Round one.
Oh,
round one.
Disrespectful.
I don't think. Cool. Let's move on.
No.
Flyweight fight, yeah. Katlyn Chookagian, Viviane, and Puddi, you're right about this one. It's not Viviane, it's Viviane Araujo. Versus Katlyn Chookagian.
Okay.
Myles, I think this one, I'm gonna lead the preview on this one, Myles, because I think it's gonna be the exact same thing we said about in the group chat about last weekend's fight. Striking from distance, similar to Michelle Waterson. You'd think Katlyn Chookagian is a tennis player, man. The way she screams whenever she throws a combination, it's like, brother, shut up. Like, I get it, you got to breathe and everything. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, yeah? I get it. But, you know when, like, you see on Instagram, MMA gyms and striking gyms, yeah? And you've got someone hitting pads, you've got a fighter hitting pads, and they're doing all these sound effects on purpose. Like, Liam Harrison's a prime example. He does it. I'm like, brother, are you sneezing or something? What's going on? Like, aye, like, relax. Just throw your strikes. I remember when I was training, I was doing the Muay Thai in Kenya, yeah? One of the guys like, don't worry, make the noises, we'll make it look hella good. We'll make it like, we'll do all of this.
I swear.
No, that's just for visual effects, isn't it? Because even when you look at Muay Thai gyms like in Thailand, when they propose their pad work and shit, they're not hitting that hard. Even when they're doing sparring sometimes and they're doing it for fun, like you look at Sanchai and Bukau, they do the exact same thing. But they're not really hurting each other. But I'm like, hey, come on, relax. So I see it playing out the exact same way Marina Rodriguez and the Michelle Waterson fight played out. I think Katlyn's going to be on the outside. She's not going to want to go to the ground with Viviane simply because of her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Yes, Katlyn's very well versed on the ground as well, but she's going to want to make it a point fight. Both of these lot have Viviane has, out of her 5 fights in the UFC, 4 decisions, 1 finish, which was her debut. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's just going to stay. It's going to stay standing. But I don't want to see the Katlyn Chookagian fight again with Valentina Shevchenko. I've seen that. I know what's going to happen in it. I don't want to see that. I'd rather Viviane win, give her a title shot. Obviously, you got Joanne Calderwood versus Lauren Murphy coming up. But if Viviane can finish or put a very dominant display against Katlyn Chookagian, she's next in line for a title shot because she would have been beaten number 2, and she's only lost once in the division. That's Jessica Ai, who was also a number 1 contender who got slept. Do you know what I mean? Who got slept by the champion. So for me, I think Viviane does exactly what Marina Rodriguez does. She's light on her feet, moves up and down. Her boxing's very crisp. You look at the Roxanne Modafferi fight, she dropped her as well. Keep it standing. If Katlyn decides to take it to the ground, use her jiu-jitsu. She's used her grappling before to very, very good effect. Take down, control the fight, win the fight, and get out of there. I don't see her finishing Katlyn Chookagian though. So Viviane Araujo via decision.
Okay.
Fair play. I'm gonna have to cool. So this is the crazy thing because I'm gonna have to disagree, but my disagreement is not. No.
I don't blame you.
It's not a real disagreement. It's not a real disagreement. So I haven't seen much of Viviane Araujo. So I can't even say her name properly. I haven't seen much of Viviane Araujo. Yeah, but I've seen enough of Katlyn.
I recognize that name.
Yeah?
Look at this.
Araujo. But all I can really go on is the little that I've seen, firstly, which isn't much, in the case of these two, but also the fact that Araujo's only loss is to basically Jessica Ai. And outside of that, she hasn't really got wins over anyone that I truly rate highly in that division just yet. I mean, she's got a win over Roxanne Modafferi, but
Alexis Davis.
Alexis Davis. That's a decent win, you know.
But she has fallen off quite a bit, but still, it's not a bad win.
Is she even ranked? At this point?
I have no idea.
Who? Araujo, I think so.
Alexis Davis.
No.
Araujo's number 7.
Alexis Davis.
Oh, I don't even know. I can't even remember the last time.
Do you know what I mean? For me, she has okay. I'm comparing it to literally I'm comparing it to one, the notable wins of Chookagian, the experience of Chookagian, and just literally going off the fact that I've seen more of her. So I'm just gonna throw my very casual prediction into the hat, and that's simply a Chookagian points decision. That's my very casual, just having what I've seen so far. With the
It is
fact
the
that
logical pick.
Araujo, yeah, she hasn't done much in the division just yet, but there's a chance that she's easily just going to prove me wrong come this weekend, though.
Myles, what are you saying?
All right, man. Where do I even start? So I'm going to be honest, yeah, and I'm going to be a little bit out there. For me, yeah, in every division, there's no-go fights for me. And there's no-go fighters and in both genders, male and female. But since we're talking about women, right, let me tell you who my no-go women are. Holly Holm. I'm trying not to watch no Holly Holm fights. Flipping Michelle Waterson, Roxanne Modafferi, Jessica I, and Katlyn Chookagian. I will try and avoid watching these ladies fight at all costs because they're not doing nothing. All right. Jessica I maybe sometimes, but even her, no. So Katlyn Chookagian.
I can't believe you put Jessica I.
Yeah, no, I'm not rocking with Jessica. She should have been cut years ago. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So Katlyn Chookagian. Yeah, so I'm so sorry. When she went on that 4-5 losing streak, she got dropped by Miesha Tate. Right, moving on. Right, Katlyn Chookagian, right, just like Yusuf said, she's going to throw shots from 10 miles away, all these Kias. She's got, I don't even know if she's ever finished anybody. She just runs around, literally just having a sparring match. So I normally don't want to see her fight. However, this is the one time I am interested to see, because I actually kind of rate Viviane Araujo. I feel as if her boxing is very, very good, actually. She's got very good head movement. She cuts angles and she comes forward. And I think she's going to force Katlyn Chookagian to fight. I don't think Chookagian's actually going to have the chance to move around and do all of that type of stuff because I think Araujo's going to be right in her face the whole time. The only problem for Araujo is obviously she's like 5'4", 5'5", whereas Katlyn Chookagian is a big 5'9" lady. So she's going to try and keep the space. However, saying that, Chookagian did get TKO'd by Andrade, who's even smaller than Araujo, I think.
Yeah, so, body shot.
Yeah, by a body shot. So I think Chookagian, like you guys said, is going to try and run around, but I don't think Araujo is going to give her a chance. And I've got Araujo winning by TKO in the second round.
Oh, right, TKO like that. She's only got one knockout in the UFC, man. But anyway, that's your prediction, isn't it?
Care, man.
Cool. Let's move on. Let's move. Go on, Puddi. Sorry.
We disagreed on that. I said this is the first one we disagreed on, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I think so. We've all got 3 different things.
All right, cool. All right, so just making sure.
My guy, Jack Hermansson versus Edmen Shahbazyan. Shahbazyan still training with, who's that guy? Ronda Rousey's called Tarvedian, something like that.
Head movement. Edmen Shahbazyan, I think his name
Shahbazyan,
yeah.
I like Jack Hermansson in this one, personally. I just think he's 22, bro. He's younger than all of us. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. And coming off a loss against Derek Brunson, like the last person you want to feed him to is Jack Hermansson. You come off a loss to Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson schools you, and then you go fight Jack Hermansson. The UFC is not doing him any favors. Do you know what I mean? For someone that's 22 years old, like I think it's a dumb move, innit? Jack is solid. I remember seeing him fight Cannonier. Cannonier obviously slept him, but then his last fight, losing to Marvin Vettori, my man was preparing for Till. Then Kevin Holland. Then COVID hit. Then he fought Vettori and he lost. And he was I think it was fight of the night as well, yeah. But he's got very, very good victories on his resume. Do you know what I mean? He's heel hooked Kelvin Gastelum. He's beaten Jacare, David Branch, who's solid. Meerschaert, who Hamzat smoked recently. Talis Latis, I think he's fought for a title as well, but obviously he's probably coming towards the end of his career. Thiago Maheta Santos, Cesar Ferreira. So he's got a very good resume compared to Edmen Shahbazyan. And if you look at his record as well, if he comes out that first round, let's say Jack survives the first round, Edmen's never won past the first round if he's gone outside of the first round. You know, so I don't see how Edmen wins this fight. For as good as his striking is, I think Jack's good on the feet and on the ground as well. His jiu-jitsu is ridiculous.
Yeah, man, it's a tough one. So what?
Jack Hermansson submission round 2. Yeah. I'm calling it.
Ooh, okay.
I like Jack and former Cage Warriors lightweight. Middleweight champion as well. Yeah, about to say lightweight, man. Like Cage, I'm looking forward to the main event. Cage Warriors former middleweight champion. So I like Jack Hermansson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall I go next?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So this is a difficult one to predict because every day I think about it, I change my mind. Yesterday, I was thinking Jack Hermansson, and today I'm thinking Edmen Shahbazyan. This is tricky, man. First of all, let me give respect to Edmen Shahbazyan. This guy fought Brad Tavares at 21 years old and knocked him out. Bro, 21
That head
years
kick was
old,
nasty.
knocked out Brad Tavares. Are you mad? And then 22 years old fighting Derek Brunson, bro. Like that's nuts, bro. But now, okay, of course he got TKO'd, but he gassed out and all of that type of stuff. He's never been past the first round in the UFC. So
He has. Dariush Stewart.
Has he? Oh,
Yeah, but then he lost a split decision to him. No, he won a split decision.
He won. A bit controversial, but yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, man. So the thing with Jack Hermansson, I agree with you as well, Yusuf, that I don't think Jack Hermansson is probably the best fight to give Edmen Shahbazyan. Jack Hermansson is very, very experienced. He's tough. He can take a shot. He went to an absolute war with Marvin Vettori, who's one of the best guys in that division. However, if you pull up Jack Hermansson's record, and you look at the guys who he beat, he tends to beat guys who are either slow or just slow starters. He has a problem with guys who really come forward and really rush him. If you look at the way how he lost to Thiago Santos, sorry guys, Thiago Santos just said, bun it, bro. And they sprinted at him and took him out. Same thing Katlyn done. Katlyn took a while, but then when Katlyn was like, bun it, and sprinted at him, he took him out. And if there's one thing about Edmen Shahbazyan, he comes out fast and he sprints at you. So I feel as if Shahbazyan can do that to Hermansson's shown that he can get TKO'd.
Do you not think that Derek Brunson fight is going to affect Shahbazyan coming into this fight? Because they're both coming off losses, but Jack's lost before.
It's going to affect him.
Shahbazyan hasn't, and he's young.
Of course it's going to affect him. He just got... Do you know what, Myles? I'm going to let you finish first before... Because I want to know what you're predicting. I want to know your prediction.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, this one is a real 50-50 for me, but I'm going to give it to Edmen Shahbazyan by second round TKO. Wow. I feel as if there is a weakness in Jack Hermansson, it's against guys who come out fast. Now, saying that, Puddi, he might not come out as fast because of what happened with Brunson, but I still think eventually old habits are going to die hard, and he's going to come out and sprint at Hermansson in one of the rounds, and I think he's going to get Hermansson out of there.
Fair. I respect your analysis, Myles, but I'm saying I'm going the other way. I am predicting that Jack Hermansson is going to put Edmen Shahbazyan to sleep. Now, this is my thing. Cool. Edmen Shahbazyan what's happening to Edmen Shahbazyan right now is one of the reasons why the UFC does not have stars on the same level as boxing. Actually, let me rephrase that. The reason why the biggest stars in boxing are so much bigger compared to the biggest stars in the UFC. Okay. Edmen Shahbazyan should not... Huh?
I hear that.
Edmen Shahbazyan should not have been served up Brad Tavares as his 11th fight in his whole career. He won, but that should have never been a thing. All right, cool. Now, as his 12th fight in his professional career to be given Derek Brunson, that's insane. If you ever look at boxing and look at who people are fighting for their 11th and 12th fight, you're usually still in journeyman. You're usually still your journeyman in your journeyman phase. You're not even thinking of fighting someone that's even like domestic level for most part until you're like maybe 13, 14, 15. I know, but this guy, Dana White, he can be a sicko sometimes when it comes to who he serves up to people. Now, this is the thing. Dana White clearly saw Edmen Shahbazyan 10-0, came from the same school as Ronda Rousey. Okay, cool. It's time to make them a star. And I've noticed Dana White, it doesn't have to take long to make people a star. He wants to make you a star today. Instant. So he wants instant stars. Do you get what I'm saying? So Brad Tavares and Derek Brunson. All right, Brad Tavares and Derek Brunson, they are gatekeepers. They're very difficult gatekeepers. And the thing is, this is the issue with them. They became gatekeepers not because of the fact that they ain't that good. They became gatekeepers because of the fact that they lost to people that are stupidly good. So, for example, the people that have beat Brad Tavares and Derek Brunson, Yoel Romero, Robert Whittaker, Izzy Adesanya. So, because them man beat Brad Tavares and Derek Brunson, people now think that Brad Tavares and Derek Brunson are gatekeeper level. Do you know what I mean? They think Derek Brunson's gatekeeper level, and that's why they give Derek Brunson to Kevin Holland as a gatekeeper until maybe it just clicked in your head like, wait, maybe Derek Brunson isn't gatekeeper level, but Izzy is arguably the greatest striker of all time. Robert Whittaker is arguably one of the greatest middleweights of all time. Yoel Romero is one of the strongest forwards of all time, and this guy Derek Brunson ain't a gatekeeper. Cool. So now, Edmen Shahbazyan comes into the fight against Derek Brunson and gets schooled, absolutely schooled. Yeah. Any person with sanity will then go and take Edmen Shahbazyan back a little bit, but then you put him in there with Jack Hermansson. This is a ridiculous risk. Now they're probably banking on the fact that if Edmen wins, then they might push him straight up to top 5. Do you get what I'm saying? Like if he wins, I think Dana likes taking risks like this, yeah, where big rewards at the end of it. But realistically, Edmen versus Jack Hermansson, when I could kind of argue that Jack Hermansson might even be a level above Derek Brunson. It's not computing to me. It's not making sense to me. Like if I said, okay, prior to what Derek Brunson did to Kevin Holland the other day, yeah, if we was discussing Jack Hermansson versus Derek Brunson, we would be like, it could go either way. Or am I wrong there?
No, I'll tell you how close it is. Yeah, simply just a quick one to cut you. Jack Hermansson, when he was scheduled to fight Darren Till, if he won that fight, he would have got a title shot.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100.
And you're telling me that is the comeback fight for a person who just got schooled round after round by Derek Brunson? I'm saying not even that. I'm going for Jack Hermansson. Jack Hermansson, I think he's going to finish him as well. It's either ground and pound or... I have a ground and pound who's going to choke him out. Let's go for TKO, and I'm going for second round.
Okay.
I'm going for second round.
TKO second round. I've got second round submission. Myles, you've got Edmen Shahbazyan first round, didn't it?
No, second round.
Second round. All right, cool. Co-main event: Beneil Dariush versus Tony Ferguson. Oh, my boy Tony. Yeah. I'm gonna let one of you guys start on this one because I don't even want to break this one down, innit? I just think Tony's got to that stage in his career, man, and it's sad to see. It's just where things just start going. But one of you guys go.
A wise group of rappers named Bone Thugs and Harmony once said, "Meet me at the crossroads," because this is where we're at right now. We're at the crossroads.
The crossroads.
Oh, hell no.
So this is a crossroads fight for Tony Ferguson. If Tony Ferguson loses this fight, I don't want to say he's done, but
he's done out here. Say it how it is.
He's done.
He's done out here.
He's done at a certain level because he'll probably just become a gatekeeper as well. They'll probably start feeding him to some people. But this is my thing, and this is gonna sound so harsh. Yeah, it's gonna sound so harsh. But when you look at Tony Ferguson's record, and this isn't a new hot take, by the way.
Be careful what you say here.
Tony Ferguson's record compared.
Be careful what you say here.
Oh no, trash. No, my bad. The record I was gonna save it for the main event, but do continue. Sorry, not Tony. Go on.
Tony Ferguson's record compared to the record of all of the other elite lightweights of this elite lightweight era, is probably the least good one.
Oh,
and that's if we consider Conor to be part. No, I think Conor even has more wins over the. Look who Tony Ferguson has beat. Okay, his last win was against Donald Cerrone, which when you now look at it and you now trace your mind backwards, it's not that. It's a good win. But
it's not that impressive anymore.
Yeah, he was kind of on.
No, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Cowboy was on a 3-fight winning streak back then. Cowboy was still good.
Wait, shit. This is in 2019.
2019.
No. Cowboy was doing bits.
I lie. It's only when he lost to Tony, that's when things started going down. But he was all right back then, bro.
Bro, he's got a good resume. Anthony Pettis, he's been done for the longest time. Kevin Lee, Dos Anjos, Vanata, boy, he got Edson Barboza, Josh Thompson, T-Bow, Trujillo.
No, I haven't put it.
This is what I'm saying. No. I never said it's bad. I said out of the elite, it's not that great. Let's just compare. Yeah, knocked out Conor McGregor, beat Dan Hooker, beat Max Holloway, knocked out Eddie Alvarez, knocked out Justin Gaethje, submitted Anthony Pettis, beat Jim
Wait,
Miller.
who's that?
Who's
Whose
this?
record is that?
Dustin Poirier.
Oh,
Okay.
That's a resume. If we're talking resume, that's what I'm saying. Compare him. Knocked out Tony Ferguson, knocked out Donald Cerrone, knocked out Edson Barboza, knocked out James Vick. Who's that? Justin Gaethje. What are you talking about? Tony Ferguson's record out of all the elite of that, you know, that specific time period.
That top 1%.
The Khabib era. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're missing out some important information though, bro. You're missing out the fact that in between that, Poirier gets knocked out by Michael Johnson. You're missing out the fact that
no. Michael Johnson knockout was before.
You got Gaethje getting knocked out by Poirier as well.
Yeah, like come on, bro.
Okay.
Ferguson,
so who are you picking for this one then?
Okay, cool. So yeah, let me get back. See, you're not even distracting me.
Go on.
Tony Ferguson, he's at the crossroads. Okay, this is Dariush's step up to the big leagues. Now, I look at both fighters. I see Tony Ferguson as a guy who gets hit a lot and delivers a lot of hits. I see Beneil Dariush as a guy who gets hit a lot and delivers a lot of big hits as well. What's the main difference? When you're a guy that gets hit a lot, you rely on your chin. Ferguson has been relying on his chin for a very long time, yeah? But his chin has expired. And that's gonna happen to every single fighter. Bro, if we are still doing these predictions, 10 years from now, we'll be saying the same thing about Yuri Prochazka. Literally, all of these guys that rely on their chin to get through, eventually your chin expires. Sam Alvey, his chin's expired. His chin expires. And I believe that Ferguson has hit the point where his chin expires. And that's why he got knocked out by Justin Gaethje. Well, no, I think Justin Gaethje expired.
It was a TKO.
Yeah.
He was just getting his ass whooped. The referee stepped in.
He didn't even. His chin looked mad in that fight. What are you talking about?
He held up. His chin held up. He was just taking too many licks.
His chin looked stupid in that fight. That was one of the best chin I've ever seen in my life, actually.
Do you consider it to be being your chin holding up when you're running away, shaking your head like that? Is that your chin has?
I'm done. I'm done. That is shit. That's the chin holding. If his chin didn't hold up, he would have been dropped. He didn't get dropped.
You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is, I believe, I believe that this fight will be the fight where we see that his chin is done. I believe that Dariush is going to knock him out. That's what I believe.
Round?
It's going to be late. So, because his chin ain't that bad. I'll relax to the chin. It's going to be late. I'm saying he stops him in the 5th round.
5th? It's a 3-round fight, bro.
Yeah.
3-round fight, my guy.
Co-main.
3-round fight.
What are you saying about his chin now, yeah?
Decision then.
Okay. Dariush via decision. Dariush decision then.
Myles, what you saying?
Dariush decision.
This is a hard one, man, because you see Dariush, yeah? I rate man like Dariush, you get me? I rate man like that. And I feel as if he doesn't get enough respect at all. And his winning streak right now is so good. However, Tony Ferguson's a different kind of gravy, you know. Tony Ferguson, I mean, they're very similar in the sense that they both get hit a lot and they both can give a shot. I feel as if Dariush has got the power advantage over Ferguson. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm just being idealistic, but I just don't want to let go of my man Tony, bro. And I feel like if I go with Dariush, I'm letting go, bro. And it's hard to predict the fight, man. I feel as if it goes to the ground, don't get it twisted, man. Dariush is good on the ground as well. And so is Ferguson. It's a bit of a mirror match, really. It's a
quick one, yeah. With that Ferguson's kind of jiu-jitsu, I've noticed one thing, yeah, is when he's got man hurt, that's when his jiu-jitsu comes into like full effect. Like when someone's hurt or tired. But when they're fresh, like you saw what Charles Oliveira did, it's not as effective. You know, when Kevin Lee was fresh, when he had that fight as well, he had the staph infection, he mounted him. Bro, Charles Oliveira mounted him as well, but Charles's levels are above. But with the jiu-jitsu, so's Dariush. He's a black belt as well.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, going back to this, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Yusuf, about saying that the first fight on the main card gonna be the fight of the night. I think this is gonna be the fight of the night. And to me, what sways it, going back to what Puddi said about records, as good as Dariush is and amazing as his winning streak is, I don't think he's fought anyone on the level of Tony Ferguson. I can't think of anybody that's anywhere near that level. So with that being said, I've got Tony Ferguson by decision.
I hear you, man. I think
on the level Tony
when he has
Ferguson
fought,
used to be.
it's been Michael Chiesa, Edson Barboza, and he lost both of them fights.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I don't know, man. Tony's a hard one, man. I like Tony. You know, I'm like one of them ones that, you know, when fighters like talk a lot, I can separate that. Like that's why I start watching like MMA mainly, innit? Like when fighters, I don't care. I just want to see you, man, fight. Do your thing, fight, and I'm out. But Tony's a hard one because if Dariush is going to take damage from Tony, yeah, the thing Gaethje did was he didn't. He avoided quite a lot of the damage. He did take licks, but he avoided a lot of the damage. But with Dariush, if he starts getting in too close, he's going to get sliced up. And once you start seeing blood and Tony sees blood on you, you're done. So this is like probably very, very 50-50. I don't think Dariush, I think the game plan is almost there as well to beat Tony Ferguson, like we were talking about earlier. It's like with Edson Barboza. It's like you got to make sure you're not the nail, basically. You're not moving back against Tony because when you give Tony space to work, he will go to work. He'll take you to the butchers. But the moment you don't, and you make it a bit of a wild fight, which Dariush is going to want to do. But if he's just taking punches, I think he'll be fine. The moment he starts getting too close and making it wild, he'll eat elbows. But Dariush under Rafael Cordero, his Muay Thai is very good, man. It's come leaps and bounds as well. And he's got the jiu-jitsu. Hence why I don't want to pick against Tony Ferguson, man. It hurts to pick against him. Like, even with the whole Khabib, I'm a Khabib stan, you know what I mean? I still wanted to see that fight. Always picked Khabib, but it's like, you know what, Tony, you could be champion, just not while Khabib is around. But with this one, it's a tough one. Like you said, it's a crossroads fight for him. Proper crossroads fight. I'm going to pick Dariush. I don't think he can finish Tony Ferguson, personally. I think Ferguson, like Charles Oliveira couldn't finish him on the ground and he had him in mount and had him in all sorts of positions. Dariush ain't going to be that guy. He's got good jiu-jitsu, but it's not on the level of Charles Oliveira. He's got good striking. But boy, if it turns into a wild fight, Tony Ferguson wins it because he'll start slicing him up. But if Dariush sticks to some sort of game plan, pressures him like Justin Gaethje fought, then he wins. But fuck it.
Come on.
Tony Ferguson decision. No, Tony Ferguson stoppage. Second round. Tony Ferguson. I'm not ready. Like you, Myles. I'm not ready to let go of him just yet. Not yet, man. Not yet. I'm not going to let two fights.
That whole spiel, and I was like, nah. You don't fund this.
No. I'm not going to let two fights be the making of Tony. I think he's still got something in him.
I got a question.
Go on.
Puddi, do you think doing 2 weight cuts in like 2 weeks affected Tony Ferguson in that fight versus Gaethje?
Of course it did.
100%.
Of course.
Okay.
But I think a lot of things are affecting Tony Ferguson. Like, I think I'm not. That wasn't even a joke. That wasn't even a joke. I was being dead. Because I was actually, because now I sound. There's a lot of things affecting Tony Ferguson. Like, he's been through wars, you know, in that octagon. Tony Ferguson has been through wars in that octagon. Are we also forgetting he's the same guy who tripped and tore his whole knee, like, what, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
He had his whole knee torn up. Like, his body has been through it, bro. His body has been through it. Then on top of that, he's had literal personal and mental problems outside of the octagon and stuff like that. Bro, I think it takes a toll in your career. It's not a legend.
No, it's not a legend,
Is it a legend?
bro.
I saw some mad video and I saw people blaming it on Tony Ferguson. Now they turn out not to be Tony, so I'm sticking with that.
Yeah,
I'm going back. Dariush by decision. I'm locking it in. Dariush by decision. Apologies. Dariush by decision. I can't do it. It's hard, man. I'm going back and forth.
I'm trying to say, from where I'm looking at now, if I was going to make the educated guess, this looks like the decline. This looks like where, do you know what I mean? This looks like where it starts to dip down a bit. You get murked by Justin Gaethje, cool. Then in the fight against Charles Oliveira, and even though Charles Oliveira is that guy, I think he's cold, and we'll get into that. And then in the next bit, people were still picking for Ferguson to come in and beat Charles Oliveira at the time and stuff like that. Then cool, he loses to Charles Oliveira, and I think now this is the part in the story where you lose to the fighter who's kind of ascending a little bit. So then you meet at that. So he's going down, he's going up. Yeah, you kind of meet at that bit. And I don't know. Listen, Ferguson can come out and finish. Well, no, I don't think he will. But if Ferguson was to come out and finish Dariush, everyone's going to be like, and you said you, and everyone's going to be like, oh, what, you lot thought it was done because he lost to 2 elite fighters. And I could be wrong. But How many fighters really go through all the stuff he's been through in terms of how many wars he's been through, the injuries he's been through, and then at 37 years old, that's when they now turn it around?
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's
I
hard.
hear that. All right,
All
cool.
right. Main event
Look at
time. Let's
Tyler
move on to the
Woodley.
main event. Wrap this up, yeah. Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler. Now, Puddy, I'm going to let you start on this one simply because you were mentioning Charles Oliveira and how cold you think he is, yeah? Vacant lightweight title, 50-50 fight as well. Do you really think Charles Oliveira has been that impressive? Let me go on. Let me know what you think of this fight.
Do I think Charles Oliveira has been that impressive? Is that a serious question right now? Has Charles Oliveira, yeah? He has deserved this for a very, very, very long time. Charles Oliveira is a fantastic fighter. Do I think he's been that impressive? Yes. I think he's out of all of the top lightweights, he's the most well-rounded one currently in that little batch of high-level lightweights.
Wait, what?
I think
most well-rounded?
Yeah.
Oliveira.
Let him say.
Wait,
go on.
No, I'm about to load up my rankings. Yeah, the most well-rounded.
Okay.
Unless we have different definitions for the phrase well-rounded, I would say, yeah, Charles Oliveira is the most well-rounded.
Go on, I'm deep in it. Just caught me off guard a bit.
Yeah.
But you are right, striking and jiu-jitsu and everything. But do go on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't mean he's the best out of everyone, although I would argue that he might be. But yeah, so with Charles Oliveira, I think he's earned it. I think just the simple fact, and I don't want to be that guy, the fact that he's had so many fights within the UFC and he's been doing it for so long, I think he deserves his shot. And I think that his moment has finally come after so long. And it's quite interesting when you think about it, just to compare someone who's had 1 billion fights in the UFC and has got all these records compared to someone who's had one fight in the UFC and they kind of meet together and it's like, all right, cool, so who's going to become the champion after this? And I am picking Charles Oliveira. Like,
finish? Does he stop Chandler?
Yeah. I'm picking Charles Oliveira via submission. But but when it comes to what round, that I'm not so sure about. But this is gonna sound so mad to say, but I've watched Chandler and I don't think it's gonna be that difficult for Charles Oliveira to beat him. I don't.
Wow.
I don't. I truly don't. And Chandler, obviously, him coming in and knocking out Dan Hooker in his first fight, it's impressive. But I would argue that I don't even know if I think Chandler should be fighting for the title. Obviously,
I was going to say that as well. Do you think he should have got the title shot? Or Gaethje should have been Gaethje. Obviously, Dustin's gone red panty night, hasn't he? So I can't blame him. He's got a family to feed. You can't blame the man.
Yeah.
But you take 2 million to fight Charles Oliveira, or you take 10-20 to fight Conor. What are you doing?
Well,
You know.
it is what it is. Like, yeah, so that's the thing. Like, Chandler, he's kind of been gifted this position, isn't it? Because of the fact that, yeah, Dustin has gone to fight Conor and all of that sort of stuff. And then the winner of Dustin and Conor is going to end up fighting the winner of, like, Oliveira, Chandler. Anyway, the person who loses the most out of this is Gaethje, if we're being honest. But yeah, I think Oliveira does submit him, though. What do you guys think?
Myles?
Oh, sorry, round 2.
Round 2?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Myles?
Okay, so let's go back a bit, yeah? It's September 2010. I'm 15 years old. I'm seeing some mad promo, bro. I'm seeing a mad promo because I missed Oliveira's first fight. His debut was against Darren Elkins, yeah? Bad man, Darren Elkins. Damage, bro. I actually missed that fight, unfortunately, which was in August, yeah, in 2010. But I'm hearing Joe Rogan talk about it, and he's hyping me up. Yeah. So then I'm gonna see him fight Efren Escudero in 2010 in September, yeah. So a few months later, or a month later, sorry. And I'm like, okay, I'm excited. I watched this guy fight, yeah. I think Oliveira was 21 at the time, fighting Efren Escudero, who's supposed to be the next big thing, the next GSP. So I know about Escudero, and I'm seeing this guy Oliveira. And I was gobsmacked. I kid you not, yeah? In that month, I probably watched that fight no less than 8, 9, 10 times. I was obsessed by Oliveira. I was like, this guy's 21. He's the next big thing. And this is 2010, where most people around here aren't really watching UFC like that. I'm telling everybody, this guy's going to be the next big star. I'm like, I found a guy. I'm going to follow his career. I found him. His jiu-jitsu is amazing. His striking's brilliant. And I'm like, this guy's going to be the champion. And then over the years, I'm like, I don't know, man. Yeah, man, that's how I'm thinking. I've seen him get knee-barred by Jim Miller, TKO'd by Cerrone, knocked out by Cub Swanson, TKO'd by Holloway. I'm thinking, oh my God, I've seen him get guillotined by Pippin Pettis, guillotined by Lamas. I'm like, what's going on to my dog? And you know what I realized? Oliveira, when he is on the offensive, when he is the one putting the submission, when he is the one coming forward, is one of the best lightweights in the world. Yep. However, defensively, he is one of the worst fighters I've ever seen in my entire life. Honestly, one of the worst. He literally stands straight up with his chin right up in the air, literally takes punches, bang on his chin.
This is unfair.
When he's on the ground, he's getting submitted left, right, and center. He's getting TKO'd and punched up. He's just, when he's on the bottom. Wait, hold on, Puddi. I genuinely, as much as I love Oliveira, and I want Oliveira to win because I'll feel vindicated and I'll feel like, yes, I picked this guy back when he was 21.
Like a Bitcoin investment, isn't it? When you say,
it's going
to be the shit.
Exactly. And I feel like an idiot. So I really hope he wins. But defensively, I think he's really poor. And I feel as if the reason why he's improved lately, I think he's put on a lot of size. I think I think he's changed his strength and conditioning, and that has helped him. But, you know, when you talk about things expiring, I think when he takes that hot bang from Chandler, that right hand, I think Chandler's going to knock him out. Unfortunately.
Crazy.
I'm going to say round one. I'm going round one knockout Chandler. As much as I hate to say that, because I haven't been watching Chandler that long, and I've been watching Oliveira religiously for 11 years. I do not want Oliveira to lose, but I'm at this point now where I have to be honest now, and I have to let him go.
What were you going to say?
But I need to ask you, no. I was just going to ask, have you not seen the improvements in his striking more recently? That's what I was going to ask, but you kind of touched on that already.
Okay.
No, you don't think
I've seen
improvement recently?
I feel as if his game is exactly the same. If you watch how he used to fight before and how he fights now, I think he fights exactly the same.
But he has improved. He has improved in his striking.
See, I don't think he has. I think he's just a bit stronger and his chin's holding up a little bit more. But I don't really think he has improved. I think if you watch how he used to fight back in 2010, it's exactly the same. He just had a good run of good fighters who've allowed him to do what he does.
Okay. See, I'm going to go with... personally, I'm picking Chandler, innit? I've been watching Chandler for a long, long time, innit? Since the Eddie Alvarez Wolves kind of days. And Puddi, you mentioned earlier about resumes, about like impressive resumes. Since he's moved up to lightweight, the only two like real notable names that he's beaten is Kevin Lee and Tony Ferguson. Do you know what I mean? And we can make a case for Tony Ferguson coming off the Justin Gaethje fight and getting dominated, whatever. Kevin Lee, okay, he needs to get his mind right. But then you look at, since he's moved up to lightweight, he lost his debut against Paul Felder. Paul Felder survived on the ground. I think he tried knee barring him or ankle, putting him in an ankle hook or something. But then look at the guys he's fought. Clay Guida, Christos Giagos, Jim Miller, David Taymor, Nick Lentz, Jared Gordon, before he fought Kevin Lee. And I'm not one to do MMA math, yeah. Let me not lie. I'm not one to do MMA math. But when you look at those kind of names, yeah, yes, of course, you're going to look impressive if you're beating them. Do you know what I mean? You're going to stand out. The Tony Ferguson one was a wake-up call. Sorry. The Tony Ferguson, go on. You can disagree. I'll let you say why in a sec. That Tony Ferguson was like, that was the statement, like, I'm here, number one contender, fight me. Like, you know what I mean? I can be champion. But aside from that, at what point have you ever gone, wow, yes, apart from his submissions, he's got the most in the UFC and whatnot. Now, with Chandler, I think Chandler beats him, man. I'm a big fan. Like, I'm a big fan inside and outside of the octagon as well. Like, the way he talks, and for guys like us that are doing YouTube and whatnot, he's one guy you can, like, take note of, like, how he talks and stuff. But then in the cage as well, all-American wrestler, he's got power in his hands. Yes, he's been dropped by featherweights like Pitbull, which to me was ridiculous. But hey, I thought it was an early stoppage. But I think he's, you know, when the stars align, he's in the UFC now, and I think he sleeps Charles Oliveira. And again, like Myles, I'll hate to see it, but that's what's been playing in my mind since this fight was announced. It's like, I think the way you're saying it's Charles Oliveira's time, I think it's Michael Chandler's time. Do you know what I mean?
See, I hear you. I definitely hear you. I think this is what we've got here. We've got, okay, cool, yeah, Charles Oliveira, he's taking some losses, he's taking some L's, yeah. But I think what we've got here is a man coming into his prime. his physical prime, and
I agree with that.
the prime and the prime of his career. Charles Oliveira started very young. Charles Oliveira now is what I think Edmen Shahbazyan could potentially be in a few years down the line. Let's not forget, Charles Oliveira is only 31. Yeah,
He's young.
The start of the run that you speak of, it started in 2018 when he beat Clay Guida. So he was approximately 28, coming into his prime. That's arguably when you start to go into your prime, around 28, early 30s. Yeah, I believe that Charles Oliveira is coming into his prime, and so I'm not saying let's ignore everything that's happened in the past. Yeah, I'm just saying let's just start at the Clay Guida bit for now. Yeah, which is obviously his win streak starting in 2018. The way it's gone, he's actually been stepped up, like he's stepped up a little bit. It goes back to what I was saying about boxers, how boxers are sort of built. Then you get up to like a Jared Flash Gordon, and it's like, okay, cool. Then you get up to Kevin Lee, and he showed Kevin Lee levels. And then the Tony Ferguson right now, if this was boxing, it's like, all right, cool. Fight Andy Ruiz or fight Deontay Wilder before you get to fight Tyson Fury. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Tony Ferguson was then the step up to like, okay, cool. Now you've right. I think if anything, this is a guy that was perfectly built in the prime of his career now. And I think Saturday is where he's going to show everyone that he's in his prime.
I agree with you with that build up, but I think me and Myles Chandler in it. We've both got Chandler winning, but I don't think either of us want to see Charles Oliveira lose. But I think it is what it is, man. It's a good card. It's a very good card, man. But I'm gonna have to wrap this up because we've been going for longer than I expected, to be honest. Yeah, we've been going for quite a while. Before I do wrap this up, thank you guys for joining me. Obviously, we'll be doing more previews and predictions as well in the coming weeks. Before we leave, go ahead and subscribe to Puddi on MMA Casual Call. Link will be in the description. Same for Myles on Fight Night Chat. Myles will be doing a watch along as well. I think I'll do it if I'm awake. We'll both be doing watch alongs, but go do subscribe to Myles as well. Are you going to be covering the one championship fight, one of them this weekend as well, Myles?
Brandon Vera, isn't it?
Yeah.
I might be.
So if you want championship fans, the guys that don't just watch UFC, go ahead, subscribe to Myles, to Myles on Fight Night Chat. Go subscribe to Puddi, check out his hot takes as well. You've released like a couple of videos recently as well, and more content coming from the guys as well. Thank you guys for joining me, man.